Hello, welcome to Prime Time. Today in our PrimeNet application, I'm going to show you how to run some reports. On our menu bar reports at the top, we've got several different categories with different types of reports. Under the time, you'll find things like timesheets, time cards, time summaries, simple time summary, various types of reports that you can go through and run to see which one looks best for you. Supervisor exceptions, timesheet, time summary location, PTO reports, job costing reports, any custom reports that may have been done for you would appear under the custom reports. Management, things like no punching, who's in, your missing punches or punch exceptions, who's not in, who's on vacation. Administrative, these are for your audit trails and just various other reports that you may or may not need. So running reports, you decide which category you want, and then you can come over to the right and click on the one that you want. You'll see as I move my mouse up and down that a customize comes up, and some may or may not have a report in those. These are different reports that I've saved that have specific options, and I'll show you about that. So we'll go into the default timesheet, and you'll notice at the bottom are a lot of options. Page break by employee, show missing punches, unpaid, notes. I always take this off because I do want to see anything that comes up that may not have any hours associated with it. Things like commission, bonus, dollar amounts, placeholders, tardy, anything like that that doesn't have hours assigned to it but was put into the time card. Employee verify and approve. With this checked in whichever report you run, if this option is available, it will put a signature line at the bottom of the report for the employee and or supervisor to sign off. So once I figured out which options I want to run on my reports, I can select Save Options. Now before I do that, if I wanted to break this down by department, so I have the employees split by department, or at least the departments separated, and whichever employees worked in those departments would show up inside. I can do that. If you have more than one level, you can separate them by that as well. If I want for a specific department, maybe I'm always going to run this for shipping, then I would select that. Remember, I'm showing you how we're going to save a report so that when you click on it to open it, your defaults are saved, and all you really need to do is choose your date range. Employee selection, although you can select employees, or there's even a check all up at the top, by leaving this blank and not selecting anyone, it's going to automatically assume all of the employees that are in the date range or the specific pay period that you're running it for. Same with the pay types. If you leave everything unchecked, it's going to assume you want to see all of them. However, maybe you just want to see holiday for the entire year. Who got holiday from January 1st, to current. And it would only return you those employees who did have holiday and the dates of the holidays and the hours. Otherwise, when you're running most reports, you want to see everything. So we're going to leave these blank, and you would select the options that you always want to see. You're going to click Save Options. You'll give it a name, and you'll click Save. Once you do that, you can go to Edits and then Time Management. And that forces a refresh to the site. And when you go back to Reports, Time, Default Timesheet, your custom report will be here. I've got a few already made. I'll just click on the one time card here. And we can see that it did select the different options that I've needed. So all I really need to do is decide whether I want pay period list or date range. Normally you're just going to have one pay period. For my demo, I've got multiple pay periods and different people assigned to different pay periods. And if you have more than one pay period, you'll need to keep that in mind when running your report. Do I need to run it just for the one pay period, or maybe I want it for both so I can see all of the time? So with my pay period selected, I just click Regenerate Report, and that brings up my timesheet. I could choose to export this to Excel or CSV and click Export. Your browser would then either save it to your Downloads folder or pop up and ask you where you wanted to save it. Depends on the settings in your browser as to what that does. I can select Export to the selected format, which is PDF. Once I've selected where I want it to export, or what type I want it to export as, I can click the Export link right here. And again, it'll either save to your Downloads folder, or there'll be a pop-up asking you where to save it and what name you want to give it. Again, that is dependent on the settings in your browser. Those can be changed by you at any time on how to deal with downloads and what you want to do with them. If I want to print this, I can just click the print button right here and my browser will print that. Now, maybe I did want to change a little bit on those options, even though I had them saved. I can click Customize, and you'll see they're all still here, but maybe I want signature lines. So I can click this, select Regenerate, rerun the report, and I can see my signature line at the bottom. I can also see a blurb on this particular time card report that was customized for this specific demo. This is something that can be done for each company you have with us. You can have different wording for each company. Back up to our reports and time. We have a time card report here, which is a little more simplified than the last one. There's not as many options to choose from, so saving this as a favorite really isn't that big of a deal. Again, we want to concentrate on the pay period. We can do page break by employee. Again, employee verify approve would be the signature lines, and regenerate. Helps if I click the button. And you can see here it's a little simpler. Just the date, the day, start, stop time, hours. To change to the second page, I can click up here for next page. This one right here would take me to the end of the report. Click Customize again. Go through and maybe look at some of these. Maybe I'll get a little bit more data. And we can see here our regular hours, any overtime, double time, unpaid time. This would be like absence or unpaid time off. The total, and then any dollar amounts that are on the time card. This is not wage times hours. This would be something like for bonuses, tips, commissions, things like that. Again, here are the pages. We can go from page to page, person to person. We can select Acrobat PDF and save this as a PDF to our computer by choosing Acrobat PDF file and clicking Export, or we can just print this directly to our printer. The job costing reports are the same with little differences because the information that you're wanting out of these might be a little different than a standard time card report. So we'll look at the work department time summary here. And you could do date range, select your date from and to. I'm just going to do a weekly. Run for level. Most people are only going to have 1 or 2 levels in here, but if you have a lot of job costing going on, as you can see here, business unit, department, vendor, division, job, step, task, whatever types of job costing you have, you'll be able to run this for that specific level and then select regenerate. And since this is a summary, it's just summarizing all of my departments and the number of hours worked by all of my employees in each of the departments, and then giving me a grand total down for all departments. Another nice report would be the level employee summary. Now this is like the time card on steroids. Select here. And I'm going to run this for level 2. Again, I'm going to leave all this blank down here unless I want it only for a specific department, supervisor, or employee. I'm just going to select regenerate. And now here I can see each slice of ins and outs and the department worked, the number of hours. So this is a lot more informational when you're looking at department totals and how much time an employee is spending in different departments. Down at the bottom, I've got an excellent summary right here. Department 10 receiving 62 hours, Department 56, 6 hours. So this is a very, very strong report when you're interested in knowing where your labor is going or how many hours are going to which department. Again, just like the others, I can change pages, go to the very end, select Acrobat PDF and click Export, or click Print. We could also choose to export to Excel or CSV, but it loses a lot of our totals because Excel really doesn't allow for that. What we're putting is the basic information, start, stop, hours. Of course, on Excel, you can go in and just quickly sum everything up, but the ability to do so with that is there. Something like the simple hours summary or simple time summary. And again, it's a summary, so it's just going to take each person, the number of hours they have. Click on here. I'll have it choose their other ID, which is the payroll ID. And we'll just regenerate this. And here we see the employee names, their hours, the totals down here. I'll export, and we'll just leave it at Excel. Excel and CSV are very close to the same. The CSV usually opens by default with Excel, although it's an actual text file. So I've ran that and I've saved it, and we'll click here to open it. And we can see here that it brings it out in Excel format. In other words, it's not just pasting the report on top of the worksheet here, but it's actually separating it into lines by people that you can go through, copy, paste, and manipulate the hours on here. And we'll see their column for their regular, overtime, double time, and things like that throughout the report. That is our presentation on reports within the PrimeNet time and attendance system. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.